Was the United States Capitol attacked on January 6, 2021?
Senator, again, I condemn all of the violence that occurred on January 6th.
Okay, we're not going to get an answer from you. And let me try Ms. Clark. Ms. Clark, who won the 2020 election?
Senator, under our Constitution, the mechanism for electing a president
I am amazed. I am just amazed by the insult to this committee of witness after witness seeking to be a federal judge, subverting our Constitution, and showing how you have no independence, which is essential to a federal judge. Ms. Lane, who won the 2020 election?
I believe you're up.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for your service. Ms. Westerkamp, who won the 2020 election?
Senator, under our Constitution, the Electoral College votes for the president, and then that is certified by Congress. And in 2020, President Biden was certified by the electoral.
Yeah, that's not my question. Who won the election?
And again, Senator, under our Constitution, and it's actually.
Oh, you know, I know who was certified, and I know what you think of certification because you tweeted on January 6th in a post saying, in reference to the 2020 election results, a certified lie is still a lie. I'm asking you, who won the 2020 election? Let me make it more specific. Who won the popular vote?
Again, Senator, under our Constitution, what matters is who the Electoral College votes as.
But I'm not asking you for what the Constitution says. I'm asking you for your view factually. And frankly, we've received this kind of canned, ridiculous answer before, as you know, because you were instructed to give this answer, right?
Senator, I am speaking to what the Constitution, under our Constitution again, and that is actually Article 2,
Let me
as well
ask you
as
this. Who won the 2024 election?
in the 2024 election, again, the Electoral College voted for President Trump, and then the Congress also certified President Trump as
Did
the winner of
Donald
the.
Trump lose the 2020 election?
Senator, that goes back again to under our Constitution, the methodology is set forth in Article 2.
Let's try another question.
Senator Kennedy poses a question that, in any other era, would be considered a matter of objective historical record. Who won the 2020 election? The responses he receives from Ms. Westerkamp and her colleagues are not answers in the traditional sense, but rather a series of constitutional recitations. By citing Article 2 and the mechanics of the Electoral College, the nominees attempt to retreat into the safety of procedural law. They are not merely being evasive. They are operating under a specific judicial philosophy that dictates they must not offer personal opinions on matters that have been, or could be, subject to litigation or political controversy. However, the friction arises when Senator Kennedy points out the perceived hypocrisy of this stance. He confronts Ms. Westerkamp with her own past digital footprint, specifically a post from January 6th where she stated that a certified lie is still a lie.
Ms. Westerkamp, was the United States Capitol attacked on January 6, 2021?
Senator, again, I condemn all of the violence that occurred on January 6th.
Okay, we're not going to get an answer from you. And let me try Ms. Clark. Ms. Clark, who won the 2020 election?
Senator, under our Constitution, the mechanism for electing a president
I am amazed. I am just amazed by the insult to this committee of witness after witness seeking to be a federal judge, subverting our Constitution, and showing how you have no independence, which is essential to a federal judge. Ms. Lane, who won the 2020 election?
Apologies. Again, Senator, the Constitution outlines the process, and as a judicial nominee, I'm here to talk about what the Constitution requires, which is an electoral vote and certification by Congress. And in 2020,
Okay. Who won the election?
in 2020, President Biden.
Mr. Rickey, who won the 2020 election?
Senator, as my colleagues have stated, the process we have under the Constitution is a vote by the Electoral College, followed by certification.
Was the Capitol attacked, Mr. Rickey, on January 6th?
There was violence that occurred here on January 6th, Senator.
Was the Capitol attacked?
I would just say, Senator, there was violence that occurred here on that date.
You've seen videos of what happened.
Yes, Senator, I have.
Was the Capitol attacked?
Okay. Again, Senator, I said
Ms. Lane, was the Capitol attacked?
Senator, the characterization of January 6th is subject to ongoing controversy and debate, and as a nominee, it would be inappropriate for me to characterize it.
Ms. Clark, who won the 2024 election?
Senator, under the process set out by the Constitution, the Electoral College elects the president, and it's the
Can you
president.
pull that mic a little closer, please?
And the Electoral College elects the president.
You know, the answers here, which obviously are canned, they're pre-rehearsed, they're Orwellian in their denial of reality, and they are a subversion of this process. They're an insult to this committee, but they also fundamentally show a complete lack of independence and backbone and impartiality, which are the fundamental requirements of a United States District Court judge or a judge on any panel, Ms. Westerkamp. And I'm a little bit disappointed that you're not more original, that you can't think of a few different words.
To the senator, these canned responses are not a sign of judicial wisdom, but a lack of independence and backbone. As the questioning moves to Ms. Clark, Ms. Lane, and Mr. Rickey, a pattern of acoustic jamming emerges. Just as we see in nature with species protecting their own, these nominees use a shield of repetitive, non-committal language to protect their path to confirmation. When Kennedy asks if the United States Capitol was attacked on January 6th, the nominees meticulously swap the word attack for violence. This linguistic sidestepping is what Kennedy describes as Orwellian. It is a refusal to adopt a specific characterization of an event, even one documented by extensive video evidence, because as a judge, your words carry the weight of law. To Ms. Lane, characterizing the event is inappropriate for a nominee, that we are witnessing a complete breakdown of the advise and consent process. From a neutral perspective, one can see both sides of this tragedy. On one hand, Senator Kennedy is right to be insulted by the lack of candor. If a prospective judge cannot or will not acknowledge basic, widely accepted facts without hiding behind a script, one has to wonder how they will handle the complexities of a courtroom where clear-eyed judgment is required. It suggests a judiciary that is more concerned with the optics of neutrality than the pursuit of truth. On the other hand, the nominees are in an impossible position. In today's hyperpolarized environment, a single wrong word can end a career before it begins. They have been coached by handlers to remain within the constitutional fortress. By sticking to the mechanical facts that the Electoral College voted and Congress certified, they are technically being accurate even if they are being functionally unhelpful. They are choosing to be judicial robots because being a human with an opinion is a liability in a Senate hearing. The climax of the hearing occurs when Kennedy shifts the timeline to the 2024 election. Here, the nominees find a slightly firmer footing, noting the certification of President Trump, yet they still maintain the same rigid, procedural tone. This consistency, while frustrating to the committee, is their only defense. When Mr. Rickey refuses to use the word attack, he is essentially holding a line. He is signaling that as a judge, he will not be bullied into using the emotive language of a politician. Ultimately, Senator Kennedy's concluding remarks reflect a broader cultural exhaustion with political theater. He calls the answers an insult to this committee and laments the lack of originality in their choice of words. This hearing serves as a stark reminder that the American judiciary is currently caught in a vice. We demand that judges be impartial, yet we subject them to a confirmation process that rewards those who can most effectively hide their humanity. When Ms. Westerkamp, Ms. Clark, Ms. Lane, and Mr. Rickey walk out of that room, the fundamental question remains. Did they preserve their judicial independence, or did they simply prove that they are capable of following a script? In the end, the certified truth of this hearing is that both the questioner and the questioned were speaking two entirely different languages, one of political accountability and one of judicial survival.